lightweight boxers. So that means everybody's in jeopardy. So where's the outcry? You know why I believe there's no outcry? Because there's a bunch of rich white men at the top of the food chain getting rich because of this. And that's just the bottom line. NFL, you got a bunch of rich brown people. MLB is a bunch of rich people getting rich. You know, NBA, a bunch of brown people getting rich. But now all of a sudden, you got concussion protocol in Major League Baseball. You got concussion protocol in NFL. You even got concussion protocol in NBA. But if it wasn't for Buddy McGirt, big time boxing champion in the 80s, this young man may have died in the ring. He saw the young man couldn't go any further, and he stopped the match just because his boxing intuition kicked in and said, this dude can't go any further. The dude wanted to continue to fight. Buddy McGirt threw in the towel. Where's the outcry, though? But again, it's a bunch of rich white men getting rich at the top of this. Or the people who own the WBO boxing club, because that's all they are, boxing clubs, IBF, WBC. These men are white men, and they continue to get paid off this. See, it's easy to, when you want to level the playing field, to start putting up restrictions and you stop black and brown people from getting paid. Point blank, period. But I've been saying this for 3 years. How is it that a sport in which MMA, the biggest thing popping, my man Ben on his show spoke about the MMA fight tonight, and it's not a disparaging remark about Ben, but Ben spoke about it, and everybody's excited for MMA, where you can kick and knee people in the head. You can't see a big hit in the National Football League highlight video anymore, but all ESPN will be showing tomorrow morning somebody get kneed in the face. How is that possible? Ask yourself, why is one thing barbaric and brutal and undescribable, and another thing which is actually barbaric, brutal, and undescribable, we're not even paying attention to that? How many of these boxers and MMA people go home and are permanently either damaged or no longer with us? But they've actually made a movie to take away some of the popularity and take away some of the opportunities of young black and brown people from getting paid. I don't care what nobody says. You can say, oh man, why does it have to be racial? Why do you have to come from that angle? Because I'm just going to keep it funky with you. And that's what time it is, man. Every time I look around, it's always obstacles set up in the way of people. Soccer has no concussion protocol either. Folks be getting knocked out all the time. By the way, shout out to Joe. I'm glad Joe said that. Shout out to Joe, one of Richmond Benchwarmers. Y'all want to know why I'm glad Joe said that? I'll tell y'all why I'm glad Joe said that. The reason I'm glad Joe said that is this. Guess who the number one concussed athlete in the United States of America is? Because they did all these studies. They did all these studies to demoralize football. You got Will Smith, one of the biggest athletes in Hollywood, who did a movie that was kind of anti-football. And the number one concussed athlete in the world, in America today, is young soccer, girls playing soccer. I bet you most people didn't even know that. Young girls playing soccer have the most concussions in America today. With that being said, hold it down the great state of California, South Central to be exact. I got my cousin Low Key Submissive in the building. That's my dog, Low Key Submissive is in the building. One of the best people I ever met in my life. 100. Whatever you hear or see come out of her, you see put in that chat or hear come out of her mouth, you can bet your last dollar on it because she a quality person. Much love to Low-Key. Thank you for tuning in. But like I was saying, man, whenever you just look around the sports world. When you play baseball, you can go from, as a matter of fact, show you how culturally biased this is. You can, Bryce Harper, one of the highest paid, top 3 highest paid players in all of Major League Baseball, dropped out of high school, got a GED so he could join a baseball league, and now look at him, he's one of the top paid players in all of Major League Baseball. Why you got it? Hockey, you can get paid immediately. Wayne Gretzky, paid immediately. Tennis, you could become, Jennifer Capriati turned pro at 14. Tiger Woods could have turned pro at 15, 16 years old. But you have to go to college to play football and basketball. Baseball, they set up parameters because they used to go down to these third world countries and take advantage of those young people. Now, I'm not as, and I'm not on baseball's neck as much, but they do take advantage of these young people and pimp them out of the young people every time. You got people lying on birth certificates and putting their brother's name down so they can get paid because they're older than 14, because they'll discriminate against you if you're older than 14 and trying to make it. Meanwhile, back in America, everybody but golf pros, 14, 15, 16, 17. Basketball pros, you can go in when you're ready to go, you can go. Basketball, you gotta wait. But look, check this out. Football, you gotta wait till you're 21. But I can go buy a gun. I can go buy a shotgun. I can go join the war. I can be part of a war. I can do anything. I can do anything that's detrimental to the general public, but I can't go play football or basketball. You don't have to go to college to fight in these wars either. Exactly. So big ups to Joe. Joe must not be at work today. Joe's usually background listening, cheating at work. Oops. Good thing he lived in the state of New Mexico. Just in case his boss listens. But on the serious side, it's a damn shame. And I'm just gonna call a spade, man. We have to do something about this. Look, I don't want anything to happen in boxing. But it's everything in America is to the extreme. It's extreme hate to the left. It's extreme obtuse. You're obtuse to the right. Everybody want to ignore things that don't affect them. Do I want these young boxers to be protected in some way, shape, form, or fashion? Hell yeah. But if you are going to condemn where the black and brown people work, you need to be condemning everything. Because you get your brain knocked out of your head in a golf tournament. You can tear up your ligaments and limb forever in tennis. You can get hit in the head and get beamed by baseball. So let's not act like we actually care when we really don't. Stop the nonsense. Speaking of nonsense, check this out. Over the last umpteen years, people have been arguing about the NCAA and how they exploit young people throughout the community, no matter what community you're from. They exploit white people. You're exploiting the Latino community, exploiting the Asian community, exploiting the black community, everybody along the diaspora of humanity. You're being exploited more than likely if you're playing some type of athletics and that's involved with the National Association of College Athletics, the NCAA. One of the bigger arguments that has ramped up over the last few years when you got the University of Alabama, when you got the University of Clemson, LSU, and other schools that are making hundreds of millions of dollars every year. Hundreds of millions of dollars annually. And one of the conversations has been, hey man, why the brothers can't get paid? What? And you have the pundits going, hey, well, they're getting a free education. Well, a free education doesn't offer you an opportunity for employment. It enhances it, but it doesn't offer you an opportunity of employment. So, a free education doesn't teach you how to be an entrepreneur. There are certain things that a free education that they just don't offer you. And most people who become millionaires throughout the United States of America are not educated. They just are placed. Education allows you to be placed. We're going to put you in the game and we're going to place you at the center position. We're going to place you at the guard position. We're going to place you at the running back. That's what education does. I have a criminal justice degree. They could have placed me in a million other things. I never went into the field, but I could have been placed in law enforcement. I could have been placed as a sheriff or something of that nature. Any form, any part of the criminal justice field I could have went into. Could have been placed there. I would have had a very comfortable life, which I've already had, and I would have been living my life like it's golden. Been ghetto fabulous. Been living a good life. Never missed a meal. Had a good pension plan. The whole thing, the whole lie that they sell you in regards to American Dream. Again, this is the End of the Bench podcast hosted by yours truly, HRap. If you want to be a part of this, if you agree, disagree, want to participate, 773-797-2409, 773-797-2409. That's what college does. You get great opportunities. You get the chance to network with folks, have a good time. You expand your horizons, learn things. But at the end of the day, a college education will place you. Do I still get the free education if I have a career in the injury? Joe, allow me to let the board answer you. Joe asked, if I have a major injury, do I get an education? Sometimes you do, but in a lot of cases...
There's just so very many ways for me to say this to you. Never, not in a million years, absolutely not. No way, Jose, no chance, Lance, yet, negatory, nah, and of course my own personal favorite of all time, man falling off of a cliff. No!
In a lot of cases, no. A lot of cases, no. Because it's about generating funds for the school, paying people. It's some fat cat getting paid. Now, with that being said, I never wanted or thought about law enforcement. I was mad at myself for not going into the Navy instead of finishing college. For going into the Navy instead of finishing college. You know what, Chief? Again, man, college is a wonderful thing. I have nothing bad to say about education. But are we being prepared to be, the question I have about college education, are we prepared to be our own man? Are we being taught to fall in line? Look, you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to keep it funky with you, man. Thank God my mom ain't, and I ain't saying thank God she passed away, but thank God she can't hear this. The reason I went into the criminal justice field, because I looked at the syllabus and said, I ain't going to have to do a whole lot of papers. Doing that. And I said, bingo. And that's why I went into law enforcement, because it was an easy degree, man. Former athlete, easy degree. I can kick it and chase honeys. Hey, ain't no need me, man. Thank God my mama ain't hearing that, because I'm surprised my mama ain't jumping up out the grave and on her way here to slap the hell out of me for saying that. But anyway, the reason I'm bringing this up is this, man. I'm going to start at the bottom of the food chain with this. The University of Connecticut. I'm show you how the game is being played, and you're watching the game and you're not even playing against the game. Again, before I make this statement, allow me to go. This portion is pure speculation. But the University of Connecticut basketball team was one of the powerhouses in college over the last 15, 20 years. Their coach, Jim Calhoun, won 3 championships, and then Brian Oliver won, Kevin Ollie won another one. So that's four championships since the 80s, 30 years, 4 since the 80s. That's a lot. Put it like this, the team that's winning has the most championships, has 11. And they did that back in the 60s and the 70s. This team did it over the last 80s, 90s, 2000s. They got 5. And if you got, and UCLA is considered the cream of the crop for that. You're always chasing UCLA. Coach K, arguably the greatest coach in the history of the game, has 5 himself. So just think about that. Well, when Coach Jim Calhoun left UConn, they were in the midst of a bunch of nonsense, and they were a bunch of finger pointing about violations. He had cancer. He stepped away. They hired my man Kevin Ollie, and he won a championship, and then they were about to go on probation. But instead of them going on probation, I feel they let them go down to the ACC because the Big East didn't have any other football teams. That was the game they was running. We're going to go down to the ACC and redo it. Nobody's paying attention to UConn over the last 3 years. Guess what? UConn, oh my God, they going back to the Big East when the smoke is clear. Right after they get their names clear, right after everything is clear, they go back to the Big East, and they have to pay $17 million. But I thought schools didn't have the money to pay athletes to play basketball, football, so forth and so on. But you got $17 million to duck a NCAA pro, come back when the smoke clear. You got $17 million to get to the ACC. Help me understand, people. How you got $17 million to get to that, but you ain't got no money to get to the kids? $17 million to get to them, but nothing to get to the kids. But you can just provide a free college education. That's like, you know what? Provide a institution coming to your community, asking you to play basketball, football, baseball, soccer, hockey, tennis, or gymnastics, or any of the aquatic sports, and giving you a free education is literally like picking up. It's like going to the grocery store getting bags. If I'm coming to your school and you need me, hell yeah, you're gonna pay for everything. You know what? I give you even better analogy. It's like asking a woman out on a date and then saying, "I pay." Hey baby, what's up, Shantae? How you doing? I'm B. You